Money Mistakes of Millionaires. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to have a look at this article from news.com.au which is discussing money mistakes of millionaires, you know, house deposit myth and other money mistakes of millionaires. And I thought that would be a little bit of fun to have a look at. What do you reckon, everyone? Let's see what Ben has written here. So, housing deposit myth and other money mistakes of millionaires. If you thought being a millionaire meant you made no money mistakes, then you're very wrong. Here are some of the big ones. Well, I mean that's a good message if you really think about it, because you know, people who've built wealth or who are financially, hopefully, you know, in a good position. It's not like they haven't stuffed up. It's not like people haven't made mistakes. All of us have done something stupid with money, you know, one way or another, and you just have to dust yourself off and build up from it. And sometimes these are invaluable lessons. They could be the most invaluable things that you could learn. You know, sometimes it's you know, invested in a business that failed or tried something that didn't succeed, but the knowledge you got from that could be priceless. Or it could just be a flaming disaster, but still. So, the more money you have, the more costly your money mistakes become. Having seen inside how thousands of people manage their money, I've seen more millionaire money mistakes than most. I'm unpacking some of the bigger and more common money mistakes of millionaires so you can learn painful lessons from them without having to make them yourself. I don't know if you'll stop people making those mistakes. So, buying a 20% property deposit. A common mistake made by people looking to get into the property market is waiting longer than they need to, driven by the thought they should be trying to put down a 20% deposit. That's because 20% is the threshold where you don't have to pay lender's mortgage insurance, and it's worth looking out for because LMI can be expensive. On a $1 million property, if you put down a 5% deposit of $50,000, the LMI cost would be $46,930, so 4.69%. There you go. I mean, the banks, you know, they don't want to take any risk. If you put down a 15% deposit of $150,000, the LMI would be $12,155 or 1.22%. And if you put down a 20% deposit of $200,000, there will be no LMI payable. That shows a big difference in how much LMI you must pay. But saving a $200,000 deposit is a lot of work. And while you're pushed to save, the rise in property prices can mean you end up chasing your tail. Now, that's a good point. That's a good point. And we're seeing that here. People that are just can't keep up with the increase in property price growth. I mean, I will bring up a chart here just to show you the increase in property prices since 1990. And I've shown it a few times, but really it just brings it home how much of an increase it is. You can see here, Sydney, from 173,000. So what would be a deposit now? Okay, in the 1990s, in 1990, people were buying a house that cost what a deposit costs now. So up 565%, everyone. So maybe if you have to wait 30 years, that's a long time. You're probably really not doing it right getting into the property sector, but you know what I mean. I mean, that's the trap. But it also can feed into the FOMO, which we're seeing more and more. As per the ASX long-term investing report, the long-term growth rate on property is 6.8%, meaning on a $1 million property, the growth in value each year would average $68,000. This means every year your property is going to cost an extra $68,000. So paying LMI to get your property sooner means you end up ahead by a large margin in the long run. Smart investors know that some LMI is just the cost of doing business. I mean, he's right. That's true. If you can get in early, you may reap more benefits in property growth. And that's in a rising market, everyone, which, well, we've had our first recession in 28 years here in Australia, and look at housing. Housing's remained strong. All the predictions of corrections, 40% fall modeled by the RBA, warnings from all the banks, they haven't really materialized. Apartments are taking a bit of a hit. So, investing for tax purposes alone. In Australia, we pay a lot of tax. ABS data shows the average income earner in 2020 paid $21,246 of income tax alone. That's not counting all the other taxes we pay. Pretty much half our money goes in taxes, guys, when you add it all up. And I mean, who raise a stein to everyone who made their tax payment yesterday. Your month or quarterly payment. Ain't it fun? I honestly think we need to get rid of the pay-as-you-go system. Or bosses don't do it, individuals need to do it. So everyone gets their money from their boss, and then they have to send money to the tax department every month or every quarter. I think if people actually had to go through the pain of having the money in their account and withdrawing it out, that would probably shift the Overton window faster than anything. So many rampant lefties will suddenly do a complete 180 and become hard right once they actually start siphoning the money off themselves. What do you reckon? Do you think that'll happen? Or is it just called growing up? Anyway, because most Aussies want to find ways to cut their tax bill, it's easy to be blinded by the attractive potential tax savings. Well, yeah, this is the trap, buying just for deductions, or investing just for deductions. In Australia, we've seen a large number of investors be burnt and lose a ton of money by investing for tax reasons alone. In one of these tax-driven investments alone, that was incredibly popular in the lead up to the GFC, and then promptly exploded. Over 40,000 investors lost almost $2 billion. Another common area many investors face this risk today is in buying property off the plan. Oh, I'm not a fan of off the... If you haven't watched me long enough, you may not realize how much I despise off the plan. I'm coming at it from the perspective of an architect and someone who has to document buildings and who realizes how many changes can happen, guys. You're buying a sketch design, okay? You're literally buying a sketch design. The team that did that may not even be the team that's hired to document it. It may all get outsourced to a design and construction company that doesn't have the same vested interest as the developer. Maybe I'm just too jaded. So looking at the tax perks that sit around their investment. When you look at investment, make sure it stacks up as a good investment without the tax perks. You should look at the tax benefits as the cream on top. The tax rules can and do change frequently. And if you're investing for just the tax reasons kicker, if the rules change, you could be left holding the bag. Well, yeah, no, that's some very good advice. That's some very good advice. How many people... Well, most Australians do this, don't they? All the people going into negative gearing are buying these properties. Would you buy them if you couldn't negative gear it? Timing the market. This mistake is one that impacts all investors, and the more you have in your portfolio, the more costly the mistake of trying to time the market can be. Timing the market is where investors change their investments driven by what's happening in markets and the economy. The problem with this approach is that statistics show that we're really bad at actively investing or timing the market. Well, that's it. They say the trick is time in the market, not trying to time the market. There's so much psychology that impacts how we invest, from herd mentality to behavioral biases and mental shortcuts. Many of these thinking flaws can push us to make bad money choices. Vanguard, the world's second largest investment manager with over $6.2 trillion in funds under management, has done extensive research on how investors perform when they go it alone versus when they have a financial advisor in their corner. They found when an investor has an advisor helping with their investment management, people are less likely to time the market and more likely to stick to their set investment strategy. I mean, that's true. I mean, do you have a set investment strategy? At the moment, I'm taking, at the moment I'm heavy in cash, but at the moment I'm taking all my little pocket money and I'm just buying shares. I want that sweet little dividend trail, just to slowly stack up. So I'm just spreading out, diversifying, and just buying whenever I get the money in. I need to build a little pool, about $500 a time, to ship over to my online trading platform before they'll let me transfer that amount. Or that's the minimum stake SelfWealth wants me to get in Australian shares. So when I cobble that together, I'll send it and I'll just buy something. I'm not really worried about timing the market because I'm thinking about it in the long term. It's not something I plan to sell. I see it as, okay, it's spending the money for me. This is pocket money. So it's the equivalent of, I'm getting it through selling scrap metal, bottles, little money I earn here and there, not real income, other incidental money that I wouldn't notice. So I'm saying, okay, that's money that I would have probably maybe spent on computer games or other things or something fun or frivolous. But now I'm trying to turn it into something that can generate an income. So I'm trying not to time the market. But I know some people do. You get all the TA people, and they probably have the times to do that. But then it's going from a bit of a hobby to almost a full-time job. Can you devote the energy to it? I'm sure some people can. So let's jump back to this. S&P Global has found over 86% of professional investors fail to outperform the share market average over a 20-year period. This shows when investors try to time the market, they often fail, sacrificing returns in the process. Vanguard research found that sticking to your investment strategy and not timing the market has the potential to add 3% to your investment returns every single year. While 3% may not seem like a huge number, for an investor starting their investment portfolio at $0 and investing $1,000 per month, the compounding effect has a big impact over time. For example, for an investor consistently achieving the average share market return of 8.7%, investing $1,000 would have a portfolio of $1.7 million in 30 years. Achieving a 3% lower return, 5.7, means your portfolio in 30 years would only be $950. Reflecting a whopping difference of $771,000 or 81.3% more. There you go, everyone. To avoid timing risks, clearly set out your investment strategy first and stick to it. Avoid the noise and hype that's so common around investing, and you'll likely make better investment choices. I mean, that's the problem of, being a content creator, reading the news, seeing all the stuff out there. There's a lot of noise, a lot of hype too. So you've got to try and filter through it. So not looking ahead. It's common for people to think they should assess what makes a good investment by the absolute return it will generate, but really that's only half the picture. Whether an investment is good for you or not depends on the return and how it fits in with the other things you want to happen with your lifestyle over time. Starting a family, changing jobs, or starting a business. Temporary schooling and childcare costs are all things that can impact whether an investment will deliver the results you want. To avoid these mistakes, map out your position today and look ahead, layering on top your personal wants like family, schooling, new car, big holidays. This gives you your lifestyle baseline. Once you have your baseline, you can add investment options on top. Buying an investment property, investing in shares, buying your dream home, and any other investment strategies you're thinking about. You can also see how these investments fit with your situation today and the lifestyles you want to live. The added benefit is you'll see where you're headed financially, a big driver of building your financial confidence and eliminating money-related stress. So going it alone. There are so many things you need to get right to execute a solid money management, asset building, and wealth creation plan. Then there are all the things you need to know to build the confidence to take action and follow your plan through to results. It's next to impossible to do all of this on your own. Apart from the fact we're all getting busier and busier, making it harder to find the time to dedicate to money. At the same time, the amount of options are increasing rapidly. This makes it challenging for even seasoned financial professionals to keep up, let alone the average Aussie. A common barrier to people getting help is the cost. But know that when it's done the right way, investing money into getting more out of your money can create more money than what you were spent on getting help. This is on top of the non-quantifiable benefits of having a rock-solid financial strategy in place. Things like peace of mind, financial confidence, saving you time by doing the legwork, as well as pushing you forward to get it done, can all be a big benefit outside of just the dollars you'll create from being smarter with your money. The more you have going on with your money, the bigger the opportunity. So take the time to do some research and see how a professional can help you get to where you want to be faster and easier. Your future self will thank you for it. So the wrap. Here we go. Unfortunately, there isn't one set of rules every person can follow to lead to financial success, the best thing you can do depends on you. It depends on where you're at now, what's important to you, and how you want your situation to play out. That being said, there are some key mistakes people can, there are some key mistakes people can make that can hold you back. Take the time to learn from the mistakes and you'll avoid the pain. So Ben Nash, who's written this, is a financial expert, commentator, podcaster, financial advisor, and founder of Pivot Wealth. Author of the Amazon book, Get Unstuck, Your Guide to Creating a Life Not Limited by Money. And of course, this is the standard, this isn't individual financial advice disclaimer. Well, it really isn't. I mean, what do you think, everyone? How many of you take control of your own finances? How many of you invest at all? I know a lot of you even have your own super fund, so you manage all of that too. Could that just be the demographic that's watching the channel here? You know, I think all of this discussion is positive because it leads to people taking an interest in their finances, an interest in their money. The problem is, the only things we're seeing in the bloody media all the time is, you know, some poor person who just stuffed it all up and was, you know, raked through the calls going through a payday lender because they got no idea about their money. None at all. And, you know, the argument is we need increased financial literacy. But is that going to happen? Can we trust the schools? Can we trust the government? It's going to be a nightmare. You know, then they'll probably make you do a stupid course to open a bank account or something like that. Can you see that happening? Just imagine that combined with central bank digital currency. Sorry, your financial literacy is too stupid. You can't spend money on these things. You need to go to an 8-hour course. I shouldn't have said it. It may come to pass. But, you know, what's the solutions to this? I mean, there's some very good points that Ben has put there. I'm skeptical about all of these things. And I'm encouraged to see people taking control of their finances, even at any level. Even when you're starting out, even if you're just chipping away at debt and building up. For some people, this is all simple, common advice. But for others, it may be the first time they've heard it. Maybe that needs to be the discussions we're having at barbecues. You know, what other than houses can we invest in to secure our financial future? Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Hang on. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up for SelfWealth for your Aussie share trading. We'll each get 5 free share trades. I like them because, well, they're chess sponsored and they're cheap. So, okay, there you go. That's why I use them. I'm cheap, guys. Have you guessed? Stake is a US place where you can buy shares on a US broker, where you can purchase a portion of the shares. So remember, there's a third-party risk. The stake is holding it on your behalf, essentially. Where with SelfWealth, you've got to do all the, you know, the chess sponsored paperwork and everything, all that fun stuff. Independent Reserve is great for crypto trading, everyone. You can help out by, if you do your crypto trading there, we'll receive a share of your transactions that you have to pay them anyway. You can buy our merch. We've got pocket squares. I really should start wearing my jacket again. Bring out the pocket squares that Rachel has made. You can support us by using Teespring or any of our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, or Independent Reserve or AussieBroadband. You can help us out also by good old PayPal and Gold Pass. Take care, guys. Have a great day. And let us know your money mistakes and what advice you would give aspiring millionaires. Take care.